Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to Let's Get Real, chatting with Catherine. I am so excited. It's 2015. We've just been through a full moon and some really powerful energies. I found 2014 to be a hard year. I don't know about you, but it just felt that way to me. It was like challenges and clearing and healing. And if you're into some kind of spiritual practices where you're really noticing the shifts on the planet, you would have probably found 2014 a bit of a difficult year, and that's definitely what I found. So I wanted to say Happy New Year to you, of course, and I wanted to say that this is going to be a new season. We're going to try to have a lot of different points of view on different areas of exploring higher visions and to see what's possible on this planet. I love being alive. I love being alive. And I think most of you have figured that out by now. Some of you chat with me on Facebook. I have a friend page, which is Catherine M. Whalen Costin. And if you're interested in those kinds of chats and discussions, you can friend me there. Send me a friend request. I'm not into any of that other stuff, romance and stuff online. No, don't send it to me if that's your. But if you want to talk about what's going on in the world and look at different ways of being and living in peace, living in harmony, living in that kind of prosperity and abundance that I know is possible. I love chatting about stuff like that. I also have the page, the Facebook page for show updates and information on things. And I also have another page which I created recently called Clarity Whisperer, and you can get that link as well. And it is primarily right now I'm focusing on making friends with death, because a lot of people find that is the one topic that's still a bit of a taboo. How we deal with it, how we process it, our own fear about death, our own processes of mourning or not, and the grief. And some people want to hang on to it forever. They think they owe it to the person that's gone. I don't have those points of view. I really feel like death is a very natural thing, same as life. It's just one, different sides of the same coin. It's just an experience. And when we're done here having our experience, then we drop our body and we move on to the next experience. But for a lot of people, they find, that concept, it might be a little bit too simple or hard. Some people think I shouldn't say things like that. And I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm speaking from a woman who has, as a child, my father died when I was 9. My brother died when I was 21. He was 23. He drowned. Different ways of dealing with the death, according to where you're at in life, what your beliefs are, what your filters are, what you think about the afterlife, and also where you are in the family and your role in society, and all of those things play a part. And then when my son was killed recently in a vehicle accident, I had an amazing experience with that in the terms of, yes, huge shock, huge loss, huge, he was almost 30, like a month away from being 30. And I didn't have the experience that I had in the previous deaths. My stepfather died, and he took a long time in his dying process because he had emphysema and he had some other health problems. So it was a long process. And I've been faced with near death with other family members, which makes you really pay attention to the process. And then when my son died, it was almost it was an entirely different experience, entirely, because I never felt him missing from my life at all. I never felt his absence, the energetic, he's still with me, and I feel him around me all the time, and we talk and laugh, and it's in that way it's very similar to when he had a physical body, except that you don't have that physical body. So it's been very different, and so I'm trying to offer people something different. If you want to go the traditional route and that's how you feel is what you want, great. I have no objections. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just that I feel that because of the experience I had and the people that have talked to that have really resonated with, wow, that's a different way of looking at things, seeing it as a gift that it is, the learning and how I've embraced it. When I share that with you, it's only to offer you another way It's not the right way. It's not. It's my way. It's what I've learned and how I've learned to thrive from that experience. And I do talk about that quite a bit on that page, and also on the website lgrcc.com. There's more information on there, as well as the opportunity if you're looking for some kind of life coaching through the Clarity Whisperer, which is because part of my awakening after my son died was really being aware of my own spiritual gifts and my ability to tap into my intuition. And that very often, would just come out so naturally when I'm talking to people. And now I've decided to offer it as a service. And part of the reason is to help to support the other shows on Let's Get Real Chatting with Catherine, which are exploring higher visions, exploring, astrology, numerology, metaphysical stuff, understanding the interdimensional life that we have on this planet, and more than just being a body, a physical body, but spiritual, mental, emotional bodies, and all of that. Plus understanding and talking to people who are into quantum physics and what we're learning about biology and what we're learning about the food supply, and talking to people who are doing things differently in a positive way to help us to have the knowledge and the wisdom and the practical application. So we're going to go wherever this takes us, but if you want to be a guest on the show, you've got something you want to promote, your book, your whatever, check out the guest info. On the sidebar it says info for guests, or FAQ for guests, which will tell you all about that. And of course then there's people that I invite onto the show that I'm just interested in what they're doing and I want to share it, because I figure if I'm interested, chances are you are too. So thank you so much for joining me. I just wanted to give you this kind of update on where we're going and what's happening. And I'm always looking for sponsors. I'm trying to find ways to expand the network so that this conversation, the kinds that we have on this show, can happen in more and more areas and expand into the network, which I've been talking about for a couple of years now, Exquisite World Global Network, which is my passion, sort of an inspired concept of connecting people from all over the world so that we communicate. Because I believe as we get to know each other, we're going to be less inclined to create war with each other, because a lot of times our fear, which propels us or helps us to buy into war, seeing people as the enemy or someone as a threat, being in fear, when we talk to people, we usually find out that we have nothing to fear. That's been my experience. There's some people who obviously are sociopaths or psychopaths or whatever. Yeah, we need to be aware of that. But I think for the most part, 7 billion people on this planet, I would say the majority of the people on the planet want the same thing you and I do, and that's to live in peace, to feed our kids, to take holidays, to dream, to sit by the sea sometimes and see the sun rise and set and experience life, and joy, especially joy, to have more joy. So I hope you have plenty of joy today, and I always look forward to your feedback, so don't hesitate to write. Check me out on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Google+, and so forth, and of course the YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like, share with your friends. I think the more people who express their interest in the show, the more sponsors we'll be able to get, and the more people will be able to reach. That's the intention. So until next time, take care.